Hi, welcome. This is Prashant. I follow a course on programming and data sciences for the 99%, and this video is part of my coursework. Let me give you a brief motivation on the today's topic. We have learned a great deal on how to analyze the data which is already available in this course. But what do you do if you don't have the data? How do you take a decision just based on a partial information or just estimates? This is where what if analysis tool comes in. The main use of this tool is that by varying the input data, the decision makers can see how it impacts the probability of the desired outcomes. It consists of three subtools. In this video, I will explain about goal seek and scenarios. Let's see what this goal seek function is all about. Let's say my friend is doing a typical electronic course in TU Delft. Column D represents the type of test, column E represents the grades corresponding to the test, and column F represents the percentage contribution of the test to the overall final grade. In the current state, he can score a final grade of 4 without writing a final exam. Looks like he did not perform well in the first two assignments and he's little ambitious. He wants to know how much he has to score in the final exam to get a final overall grade of 9. Let's see how this can be found out. You can go to the data tab, click on what if analysis icon and select goal seek. Here you need to fill in three parameters. First one is a set cell. This is always the cell which contains the formula. Here it's the cell corresponding to the final grade. Then the value is 9 here. Now the changing cell is the cell which is corresponding to the final exam. Click OK. Excel checks if this is possible by substituting multiple values. Looks like it is possible to get a final grade of 9 by scoring a 10 in the final exam. There is a small limitation here. Suppose he wishes to score a final grade of 10. Then Excel calculates and says that he has to score a grade of 12 in the final exam to get a final grade of 10, which is impossible. But this could be smartly handled by conditional formatting of the cells. Let's move on to scenarios. What if analysis is often used to compare different scenarios and their potential outcomes based on changing conditions. Scenario Manager in Excel is a great feature for comparing multiple sets of data in a worksheet. For example, let's say I want to start a company with a prototype I already made from my idea. I need money for my business. Now let's assume this is a typical business plan for getting investments from venture capitalists. Column C represents the type of expenditure and column D represents the money needed for the corresponding expenditure type. I need to prepare business plans for various scenarios like innovation oriented one wherein you spend a lot of money on R&D, or maybe aggressive strategy wherein you spend a lot on recruiting many people to shorten time to market. Now I want to analyze how the total budget changes for different scenarios. This can be done using scenarios function. For this, go to the data tab, click on what if analysis icon and select scenario manager. First time you bring this up, it's going to tell you that there are no scenarios as I did not add any yet. Let me explain you these different options first. Add is used to add a new scenario, delete is used to delete an existing scenario, edit is used to edit an existing scenario, and merge is a special option used to merge the scenarios from different worksheets. I'll get to the summary in a bit. Let me start adding scenarios. For this, click on add option and give the name of the scenario. Let me name it as for innovation. Then select the cells which you wish to change. I'll select these cells as I wish to change only these cells. Now you can modify the comment if you wish, but let me leave it as it is for now. This area deals with a protection which is a lesson for another day. Then press OK. Here you can modify the cells which you wish to change. Let me modify the cell corresponding to R&D cost, which is D8 here. Let me make it as 1 million. You can change other cells if you want, but let me move on. Press OK. Then the scenario is added. Let me add two more scenarios for illustration. You can follow the same steps for creating these two scenarios. Okay, now we have successfully created three scenarios. Next step is to generate summary. Click on summary icon. Let's stick with the first option for this video. Now select the cell which contains the result. For this, I need to select the cell which contains total cost, which is D14. Press OK. Now it will create a summary in a different worksheet. That's it. You can see the effect of different scenarios on the total budget in this worksheet. One limitation here is that if you change the values in the original worksheet, you need to rerun Scenario Manager to get the effect of changes in the summary worksheet. Okay, I use simple examples to illustrate the working of goal seek and scenarios in this video. Because of these advantages, what if analysis has been used for years by many industries for scientific and business purposes. These disadvantages are not critical considering the applications which use this tool. Thank you and good day.